Hey.
Hi, guys. Welcome back to the SAUCY SIBZ podcast with your hosts. I'm Francesca.
And I'm Nicodemus.
What?
No. You did it right this time.
Oh, okay. And I was and we're the SAUCY SIBZ.
No. So 2 podcasts ago, I stopped. I started laughing because I was like, did I fuck up? And I re-listened to it. How it goes is you go,
hey,
with
guys.
your host, I'm Francesca. And then I go, and I'm Nicodemus. And then that's how we'd been doing it. So you did it right this time. That's why I smiled.
Did you want to be like, hey, guys, welcome back to the SAUCY SIBZ podcast? And you're like, I'm your host, Nicodemus, and I'm Francesca. Like, we go back and forth.
No, I liked how you just did it. That's
okay,
how
perfect.
we usually do it. Yeah.
Well,
Is
we
that
do
our
have
intro?
A script. Hi, guys. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome back to the closet. I get so excited to be back in the studio.
I do too. It's like, why don't we do this more?
It's getting more lush.
Yeah.
We need some more plants. We want to go like full forest with our tigers.
Yeah. Plants can't be overdone. They
Truly.
literally cannot be. And that because plants are timeless. Sorry,
So much just happened. First of all, I almost died right before this podcast opening the bottle of champagne. I've never had that happen.
I've actually never seen it happen.
No, like when I was just untwisting the cage, you know how like some people you see them be a little like overly cautious, like they have their thumb on the top, like, untwist the cage, then be careful. I see why now.
Yeah.
Because I almost lost an eye.
You just undid the cage and it fucking shot at
Francesca
you.
One Eye.
Yeah. Francesca One Eye.
I have a chipped tooth.
Why?
Not a chipped tooth, it's a bruise. My big tooth has a big white spot on it. And it's because I was opening a bottle of champagne on a yacht in Croatia, and I was like undoing it, and it started overflowing. Like, so I went to go drink it to save the champagne, and we hit a wave, and so I went, and I like clunked. Like it was so bad that like I was crying from the pain.
Yeah, that's the worst pain in the world.
Yeah, no. And then all my friends at the party later, it's all I could talk about, and they just didn't care because I thought my tooth was gonna fall out because it hurt for like all night.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm here and celebrating my 4 months of sobriety today. And Nick's drinking a bottle of Dom in front of me.
I'm celebrating your 4 months of sobriety.
Yeah, thank you. Hey, cheers.
Cheers.
I have a nice
that.
nice little Italian soda.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers. Just some Dom in the closet. That's the vibe now.
Have you ever drank a bottle of Dom Perignon in your closet?
And then someone's next question would be like, but were you alone? And you're like, no, I was with my sister. And we're like, got weirder.
and her dog.
Zaz,
and the cameras were rolling. So anyway, my friends. What?
Go ahead.
No, what were you going to say?
I feel like also what just happened was the text we got.
Oh, yeah. This is fucking weird. We get sometimes. Okay. Also, a few things about us. People don't text us individually. It's kind of annoying. They'll text Francesca and just put me in the group chat, and they'll have this 40-message group conversation that has nothing to do with me.
But it's like I'm going to tell you anyway, so you might as well just be in there.
No, I don't even read it.
Yeah.
A lot of the times. And it's just like, oh. I mean, this one I did. But anyway, so Francesca and I sometimes we often get text messages where we'll be like, did you just fucking read that?
No, from the other room. One of us will get up and go to the other one and be like, did you see that text?
Yeah. So explain what happened.
So my, I would say ex-situationship.
Mm-hmm.
But he and I never hooked up. So that makes it not like an ex, because it's just like, we just went on dates and talked on the phone every day, but I never put out.
He also once made fun of you that one of the dates that you did go on that you brought me. But that's not fucking true. That's not what happened. You did not bring your little brother to a date.
No, but that was our biggest fight. We had a fight, and I was like, you know what? I'm good on this. And he was like, yeah, you obviously have some deep issues. You're so insecure that you had to bring your brother on our first date. And I was like,
it's not what happened.
No,
it's not what happened.
It wasn't what happened.
We were going to the same concert. I was with my friend Vought. Shout out Vought. We were in Aspen. We were staying with Vought.
Mm-hmm.
And
you're friends with him.
We're all friends, and we were all going to the same concert. So we met
he and
up
I
for a
went
drink.
to a 2-3 hour dinner alone. And then we met up at the concert.
It's not like I came and met you guys for a round at the dinner.
No, and if you were my group of girlfriends, he wouldn't have said that. He wouldn't have been like, oh, you brought your friends on a date. It's like, I got him a ticket to come with us because we were already going to the show.
He didn't say you brought your gay friend Vought to the date.
No.
He just wanted to having a date.
He knows I think I'm insecure about people judging us for always being together and stuff. And he really wanted to to hit that. And I was like, all right, whatever. Like, act like you didn't like it. Like, we all didn't have so much fun.
I know. He loves me too.
Loves you.
Yeah. So
maybe not after this, but we're not saying names. I actually recently got asked by like an ex's ex-girlfriend just to like stop mentioning shit on the pod. And again, not fair. I took it back and I was like, I'm sorry, it wasn't my story to tell. And
but it is.
No.
It's fucking hilarious.
No. Like,
sure,
I said I was sorry.
Good. Do you mean it? Do you mean it?
Yeah. It wasn't really my story.
Yeah.
It was. Sure. No. It was. I think it was crossing a little bit of a line.
Yeah.
To like involve someone, but no one knows who they are, so it is like anonymous. But like, I said she's off limits. Okay. Now that's fair. Yeah. People can ask me to be off limits. I might get a text after this from this person.
Because she's listening. So
no, not her. Oh. I'm saying like who we're talking about now.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, the text said. May or may not be confirmed, but pretty reliable source that this person is now dating Congresswoman Lauren Boebert.
Is that how you say it? Lauren Boebert?
That's how I say it.
Well,
Boebert?
She's like Boebert. She's like really into gun rights.
Yeah, she's like ultra conservative.
Yeah.
Great. Good for her. It's just like a really, except she's married. And I was like, And so I was like, wow, this is like some shit. But filed for divorce in May. Yeah. Don't worry, I didn't already Google
trust
it.
Trust me, I was literally like,
I like Instagrammed it and I sent back. I go, this Lauren Boebert. I was like, huh.
Wow, your ex is dating a congresswoman. You need to step it up. You know, who you date next needs to be like a fucking senator. Yeah, I've always wanted to date a politician.
I know you always have. You want to have like you want to have a scandal though. Specifically.
I want to have a massive fucking scandal with
like a straight politician.
Wow, that's just my dream come true. But no, could you imagine? It's like with a conservative straight politician that has a family, you know, that's super into like family rights. You know what I mean? And
at least they know to stay away from you now.
Yeah,
like super against gay rights. That would be.
I believe that. Yeah, because you know the ones that are mostly against gay rights and just harp on traditional marriage, like. It's because they're thinking about traditional marriage a lot, you know?
This is a side note. We don't have to keep this in, but I was reading my Bible last night.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Nice.
I just like to, pick out things.
Take a gander.
No one, because like we haven't read, they don't talk about most of the Bible. Like do you know the shit that was going on in the Old Testament?
Oh, yeah.
So I read Judges 19 and it was about a man and his concubine, which may or may not just mean like a lesser wife or just like a slave woman kind of thing.
I really don't know what a concubine is, honestly.
So it's like a kept woman. So they take care of her. She's fed and clothed, but they're just there for like sexual purposes.
Yeah. But there's always like concubine is like a catch-all word for
so weird. I went because I read this. What are you doing right now?
Oh, sorry. I was looking up a Bible quote.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was like,
you're just.
I thought you were like straight on texting.
No, I'm texting. I'm DMing.
I was like,
I'm DMing senators. Gun rights.
I literally
Republican.
like he pulls up Grindr. I'm like, sorry, do you have somewhere to be right now?
No.
You've only had 4 sips of Dom. You're not.
Yeah, no, I'm not at all. I was just.
No, but I actually went down a rabbit hole in this verse because I was like, it was so fucked up. I was like, what was the point of that in the Bible? And the deep dive was even more fucked up. So.
Yep. See, there you go. You go on these deep rabbit holes and you're like, well, that meant absolutely. It made it worse.
No, here's how it made it worse. Can I actually get into this?
Yeah.
Okay. So Judges 19, it's a man who has a concubine and she runs away. So she disrespects him by running away to her father.
First off, and the entire Judges book is completely unhinged.
Unhinged.
Because all the judges have special fucking powers.
I haven't
to
read the whole
protect the
thing.
Israelites? No. No, that's not real. By the way.
Wild. Okay. I don't know how this particular story made it into the Bible. So she runs away and disrespects him because she goes back to her father. He goes to get her.
Okay, good.
This part of the story is literally irrelevant. I don't know what it means to it. I'm going to say it just because it's in this chapter. But the father wants him to keep staying. He feeds him, clothes him, takes care of him. They basically have like a 4-day extravaganza. Okay, they leave. Great. So they're going along. like, donkey to the next town, but he doesn't want to stay in that town because they're not Israelites there. So he's like, fuck that town.
Okay.
So they get back on the donkey and go to another town, and there's nowhere to stay and no one's taking them in. So they were going to like sleep outside, but then this guy comes along and lets them in. And then they're in the house and it gets surrounded by a mob of dudes. And they say to the Levite that they're staying with, they said, throw out that man because we want to rape him.
They're raping men now. Okay.
Okay. So they're like, throw out that man because we're going to rape him. And the guy's like, no, dude, not my guest because I'm taking care of a guest. Why don't you take my virgin daughter instead?
Love that.
The man of the house. Yeah. So he's just going to give away his
Logical
virgin daughter to protect his random guest. And the mob's like, no, we want him. So to protect them all, they shove the concubine outside against her will, lock the door. And it says the men, hit her, assaulted her and raped her all night long to where they could hear it. And so she finally crawled back. No, this is messed up. Sorry, guys.
I don't know this.
Everyone can go read it.
I really don't remember this.
The deep dive is worse. Just wait. So then she crawls back to the front door. And we don't know if she was just unresponsive or dead at the front door. And then he wakes up and he just yells at her and he goes, come, woman, get up. We're going. She's unresponsive. So all he does, we still don't know if she's dead or just unconscious. It says he throws her on the donkey and they go home.
Yeah.
He gets home.
I'm not laughing.
He chops up her body into 12 pieces.
Okay.
And sends them to each of the 12 tribes of Israel, right?
Yeah.
And send them to the tribes as like a military, like, this is what's happening out there and we need to go to war. And I guess later in Judges, it explains why. But basically, like, the only time this woman was allowed to speak on the deep dive was basically her body parts spoke for her.
Oh.
And like had them go to war.
I was just doing some light reading.
I've been trying to read my Bible before bed. And upon the deep dive, one of the Christian sites I went to didn't love this. They said, well, because men having sex with other men is more unnatural, at least them raping a woman, at least the sex would be natural. So that's what made it better. But I was just trying to read all these and people were like, okay, so what's the point of this? Like, what did God want us to do? Like some of the writers were kind of like, I wish it would be like, and God was displeased.
And God was displeased.
Like at the end, like give us something. And people were like, what do you think is the reason of this? And it was like debating Christian scholars being like, well, maybe it's just like the wickedness and the evilness like of the human, condition that like humans are just like can be fucking awful and evil. But it wasn't like a demon was involved and it wasn't whatever. And it's like, what is the point of that story?
I literally don't know.
I'm telling you, I tried to do a deep dive and everybody's like, I mean, I guess it's like the evilness. And I guess that it's more important to protect the men than the women. Like, or to protect your guests so that you don't look bad in front of other people. Like your guest was safe, but like fuck the women.
I'm glad the virgin girl was chill. Like she was.
Yeah, she was safe, but like he just gives up his daughter.
Yeah, because it was like virgins were kind of used as like
currency,
but like I mean as like pawns pretty much.
That was upsetting. I literally was like, because I kind of treat the Bible like tarot. I'm like, what do I? Give me a story that I can like reflect on or something to think about before I go to bed. So I'm not just on TikTok.
Yeah.
I usually just choose a book from my bookshelf and it's been the Bible lately. And I was like, I don't know what to take from this.
Yeah.
I didn't like it, but I was just surprised that a lot of these websites
didn't have a good explanation for it.
Well, no, I hated that a lot of the websites were like, well, at least like raping a woman would be natural sex. Because like I generally don't believe there's a lot actually in the Bible about like homosexuality. And they were like, well, like at least this way there's not homosexuality happens. So thank God.
We know like, some men have the urge to rape. So
I was just like, huh. I had never read about like men trying to rape other men in the Bible.
Yeah. Well.
Anyway, so that was my evening.
Just
back to my ex dating a conservative congresswoman.
Conservative congresswoman to like the ancient Middle East raping men.
Yeah. No, good for them. Apparently they were spotted. I feel like Gossip Girl, some of the texts I get, people really like to send us in info.
Yeah.
And they were like, apparently they were out and about at a race in Leadville. And I was like, I go, so I shouldn't talk about this on my podcast.
Probably not, but I was like, we need to. This sounds great.
No identifying characteristics for him. Yeah. I mean, she's a political figure. We might get a cease and desist for this.
She
has
love
a team.
cease and desist. Put it on the wall.
No, you guys, we're gonna start framing them.
Wall.
Like that's what I want on this whole wall is frame cease and desist.
Well,
what were you just saying? Like we were like talking about for how we're gonna start. It's a business decision that we've made that we're gonna start accepting money from big tobacco.
Big Tobacco has so much money and their influence is super powerful.
We don't know legally if they're allowed to advertise on anything.
I don't think big tobacco companies can legally advertise on podcasts.
But what if I personally just wanted to wear a Marlboro t-shirt?
And then we had some like, they were paying us to do that. Yeah. I don't know how that works. Or just, paying us to be like, well, because we are cool, we were then smoking cigarettes outside of.
Yeah, we could.
There I was with my Marlboro Red.
We're bringing back cigs, guys.
Bring back the cigarettes. I don't want to see you with your goddamn cherry puff vape.
No, so I said this to our friend Paul, and he goes. He's so iconic. Yeah. Everything he does is iconic.
Everything.
And I was like, yeah, Paul, like, did you hear? We're going to start accepting money from big tobacco. And he goes, what? What does that mean? And I go, I don't know. Like, I'm just trying to bring back cigarettes. And he goes, oh, sweetie, they never left. And he walked away.
Which is true. I was actually at dinner with him once and he was sitting right next to me. He goes, do you smoke cigarettes? I was like, yeah. And he was like, thank God, come outside. I was like,
no, he asked you if you smoked darts.
Yeah. I think that's what it was, darts.
But here's the thing. Just the puffers are so embarrassing. And I think it's going to come out that they're so much worse for you.
I don't know about that, though.
No, okay.
I know that there's some crazy chemicals in, puffers.
Yeah, Dad deconstructed one to show me how bad because he wanted me to quit them.
Yeah.
Dad, my father, who's an engineer, took it all apart and showed me the tar thing hooked up to a battery, and he's like, dude, is that what you want in your lungs?
It's gross.
Yeah, American spirits are organic though, guys.
Mm-hmm. Based in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And most of their tobacco is grown in North Carolina. This is not paid by big tobacco.
This is not paid. Okay, but
Nick, where'd you get all the nice clothes in that nice car? Just big tobacco. They got so much money.
Well, okay, so NASCAR a few years ago outlawed any more advertising.
Yeah.
But how there was the Marlboro cars. So obviously our company of Saucy Productions is not outlawing big tobacco anytime soon. So why couldn't we do it?
Yeah.
Is it YouTube might not be okay with it?
No, YouTube is crazy about even drinking on YouTube.
But what if I have a Marlboro shirt on right now just because it's vintage and cool?
Yeah.
And I like it.
Yeah. You know what I mean? We're just gonna then all of a sudden there's just a piece of wall art, It's not an advertisement, it's wall art. Okay?
No.
It's vintage art.
Nick and I, a pop art Marlboro thing.
Yeah.
We just change it one day. It's not Tigers anymore. It's Marlboro. And we're yeah, we just really. No, but we were on one of our silly little goose walks, and we were what if we came up with our own cigarette brand? And then we were the first photo shoot I want in Italy with all the old people who are 90 to 100 years old, just sitting on their porch smoking cigs. Mm-hmm. They're fine.
They're fine.
I think without all the additives, it's just a dried leaf. Mm-hmm. I feel it's
but
fine.
There's still toxins in the leaf,
Yeah.
And it's inflammatory. Even just campfire smoke is bad for you, but you're not inhaling a campfire on your lunch break,
Yeah. Hopefully not.
Yeah.
Or a factory.
Yeah.
But
call it SAUCY SIBZ. Dude.
Stop.
Yes.
Stop. Did you just come up with that?
No.
Did we do that on our
walk?
walk?
We already talked about this.
I didn't remember. Yeah. That's so good.
I know, right?
SAUCY
Just have a little SAUCY SIBZ.
That's how we fund our lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I mean, we're just
yeah.
Burning Man's getting expensive.
Burning Man, guys, we're still going to Burning Man, okay? Let it be known.
We committed yesterday, like for sure.
We had a call, and it was funny. One of our camp leads, he pretty much like scolded us.
Yeah.
A little bit.
He was like, have you gone through all the documents?
Yeah. Have you gone through this? Have you gone through that? And I was like, oh, well, we're kind of looking through it. He was like, okay, guys, well, you need to get on it. It was like your teacher kind of being like, hey, I have to go, but like, get on it now because you guys are way behind. And if you're coming, and like, you need to be on this, you know? And so.
I mean, people plan for a year and it's in less than 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And Nick and I are over here like Googling like how to create structures.
Francesca like wants to make a fucking DIY swamp cooler.
I'm sending him videos. Yeah, no, I'm making a swamp cooler. I'm an engineer. I watched a 7-minute video on YouTube, and out of a 5-gallon paint bucket and a pump and some screen for windows and some like foam, I can make us a swamp cooler. And it's going to be solar powered, and it's like under $30.
I'll see it when I believe it. Wait, I'll believe it when I see it. Yeah, that's
you'll see. Yeah. And I think by me doing this, I think it's gonna be me bribing Dad to help me.
Yeah, that's exactly how that's gonna go. Or me, you know, I'll be like, wait, you watched the YouTube video. I'll be like, God damn it, here we go.
I watched the whole thing.
But guys, we're actually still going, and we're gonna tell you all about it. But right now, it's down to the wire, and we're not camping in an RV. We are camping in a tent, but like, you know, you have to have like a air conditioning unit. And so that's why you're going to make that. But we're thinking about putting like some foam insulation inside to like help us insulate it and then protect us from like the wind and stuff.
Cause I guess it's like so hot, like 115 degrees during the day. And like there's dust storms. So
you have to like take shelter.
Yeah. Like you might not be out all day and you just sleep all day and then go out all night. But think of if you're in a tent and it's 15 degrees, you can't sleep, and like it's also really bright. Mm-hmm. But like we've talked about it, we're kind of like little raccoons.
I can sleep anywhere. The only thing is if it gets too hot, that's the one thing that kind of fucks me up.
And I think that's the one thing that's happening.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's why I'm heeding caution.
Oh, heeding.
Yeah.
H-E-A-D? H-E-E-D?
H-E-E-D, yeah. So we'll see. But I'm also thinking like maybe, I mean, okay, actually, there is a friend of ours in town who is just like this super muscular, straight Israeli guy. And I literally see him everywhere, okay? And I just found out that he's going to be camping with us at Burning Man. And every time I see him, I have to hit on him. It's just like our little thing, you know? And so I was like...
Wait, talk about how we first met him on. He told you how he and I first met. Oh, yeah,
because we saw him the other week. Yeah.
So he and I first met. He was like, Francesca, do you remember how we met? And I was like, not really. And he was like, 2-3 years ago, I was on a ski lift with you and I hit on you. And like, you gave me your Instagram and then you just ignored me. And like, but then he was like, but it's funny because then how Nick and I met is your brother hit on me. So this is just like a cute thing we like share.
Yeah.
Which is like, a thing with us.
It is a thing with us. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, I'll just sleep in your RV, right? And he was just like, I'm like, yeah, right. He's like, cool.
He's like, oh man, like I didn't want to spring for the RV, but I just did it anyway. And I'm like, yeah, great. Like I would do that, but I don't have that extra $5,000 to just like decide to. Mm-hmm. That wouldn't be like a decision right now I could make.
Our tobacco money hasn't hit yet. It's on the way. So.
Mm-hmm. But people are just like really imparting a lot of knowledge on us.
So much knowledge.
It's like it's like too much. It's like an overwhelm or like an overload of information.
Because it's not like camping. It's all different. And that's why I'm like, okay, well, like people are like, you need to bring a lot of vinegar. You have to spray yourself down with vinegar.
Yeah, because the playa is...
It's silica. So like think about like those packets that come in like do not eat this packets and like a shoebox or with electronics. That's silica and it absorbs water. So it's very basic as in like not acidic. So it like saps moisture from you, but can also give you chemical burns. So if you get too much on
the playa on you,
yeah, you can get chemical burns. So that's why you have to take vinegar, which is acidic, to spray it down, like diluted vinegar. And so that's how it like kind of like neutralizes like the silica. And then so people will like make this mixture of like diluted vinegar and they'll spray themselves down with it. And then they'll put on lotion after that, and that's kind of how you like clean yourself. I mean, there are showers there. Like we're gonna have like running water. We're gonna have
not other people have showers. We're very, very, very fortunate that we're going with a very well established camp.
Very well.
So there's like kitchens, deep freezes, showers.
Mm-hmm.
So like, it's like not as roughing it, but they're also like scaring the shit out of me. And people are telling me like one girl, that gorgeous girl. I don't want to say her name, but she was like, oh, fuzzy bike seats because your butt gets so chapped from going around your little hot pants that she was like, by the end of it, everyone has like ass rashes.
Yeah.
And then
she was like, yeah, you can look at every girl's ass around the 5th day. Just they all have just like ass rash.
And I was like, well, that doesn't sound lovely. Yeah. And then she said also like, make sure you have really good shoes. She's like, I mean, I wear the same shoes every year, but they are like a half size too small. So she was like, my like toenail falls off every year. And she's like, and I just call it party toe.
She was saying this as if it was like so cute and fun, and it kind of was. But I was also like, we're talking about like your big toe falling off yearly. She's like, yeah, it takes like 5 months to grow back.
But like, you know, when like you're like, I feel like no matter if you're hot, like nothing is cringe.
Yeah.
Like when she was saying it, because she was just gorgeous. She was like, yeah, it's just party toe. I have a party toe every year. And I was like,
party toe. That's happened to me before.
Party toe.
No, I don't get a party toe.
No.
Just wear shoes that fucking fit. But she's saying like, no, I care more about style than my fucking big toe.
Oh, she's sure
one of those. That's kind of fucking sick.
She also told me that like, because she's in our camp, she's like, girl, like I have like bags and bags of like jackets. Like I can just dress you every day. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, Burning Man's really cool like that. Everyone's very giving. That's one of the like principles of it. And everyone loves to help each other out. And if people aren't going this year, it's like, oh my God, I'm not going this year. Please come raid my closet and take all my stuff. Because you need a lot of little things. And there's big, long packing lists. And it's things that you would never expect to bring.
Like vinegar.
Like vinegar and weird shit like that. And like bungee cords. You need a lot of bungee cords and stuff.
And you do have to have like enough water for yourself.
About 2 gallons a day per person.
Yeah. So we're going out with 20 gallons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But we'll see. I mean, we're going to try to also like vlog some of it. We don't want to be on like our phones the whole time, but we want to like kind of show you guys like what we're going to be doing out there and just like our experience. But we're going to see. I'm really nervous to take my phone into the dust because it's like the dust is like powder.
No, I have my travel phone.
Yeah.
I have like an iPhone 6 that like I go to Europe with.
Mm-hmm. But we'll see. We'll fucking see. Someone told us that they did Molly with Paris Hilton there.
Yeah, my good friend Casey.
Yeah, I'm like, girl, I want to do Molly with Paris Hilton at Burning Man.
I was like, Nick, I think we're gonna have to have walkie-talkies because like
I'll be like, oh my God, my walkie-talkie died.
Yeah.
I haven't heard from you. I was doing Molly with Paris Hilton.
I was like, Nick, if you were hanging out with Diplo and you didn't walkie-talkie me.
Francesca, I would like, if I was hanging out with Diplo, I would do everything in my power to make sure you were.
I know.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah. What else? Our photo shoot.
Oh, you guys.
Yeah.
We are like relaunching the Saucy Sibz, and we hired.
I wouldn't call it necessarily a relaunch.
No, but like a rebrand.
Rebrand, yeah.
Yeah.
We're like adding to the brand, you know.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna like change the name or anything, but we're not making any final decisions till we get back from Burning.
Yeah.
Because we might be different people.
I know. You're just gonna call me Party Toe. We actually know a guy named Earthchild, and if you guys are in Summit County, you know who I'm talking about. And it goes by Earthchild because he was at a rainbow gathering, which that's a whole other thing. We don't have to even get into what that is. But one of the elders of the rainbow gatherings renamed him Earthchild.
And that's just what he goes by now.
And it's like, that's what he goes by. And some people will be like, oh, what's your name, bro? And they'll be like, Earthchild. And they're like, I'm not calling you that. What's your name? And he's like, it's Earthchild. And then his Instagram is Earthbaby.
Yeah.
Kind of adorable, yeah.
I'm never calling you Party Toe.
I'm not going to ever do that. Party Toe?
Would you get a tattoo on the playa?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I mean, you got one in India, so that was a stupid question.
Yeah, no, I'm not really like too worried about like tattoos and stuff like that.
You can get chemical burns from the playa, and you're going to get out here We met someone the other day that had a brand from his last Burning Man.
No. yes, massive brand, but let's talk about the fucking baby that got delivered.
Oh.
I was like, oh, do you go to Burning Man? He was like, yeah, I was camping at the camp, the baby that got delivered. I go, what did you just say to me?
Yeah, he said he caught it.
He caught the baby.
So that was
a part of me was like, I wanted my next follow-up question. I wanted to be like, well, was there a doctor around? But I figured he was probably asked that so many times. And this baby's about a year old now that I just didn't even need to follow up. He just told me that he delivered a baby at Burning Man. And I just said,
what if like for the rest of your life, people are like, what's a fun fact about you? And you're like, I was born at Burning Man.
Yeah.
like it's like, where do you put your city of birth? Like Black Rock City?
Black Rock City. Yeah, I mean, it's
yeah.
I know someone that was conceived in a specific cabin at my summer camp that I went to.
Did they name them after that?
No.
Okay.
But it was just so funny because like we would all make fun of him. It was like, like Chris was conceived in that cabin.
Well, we have friends whose parents named them all their kids after where they were conceived, like the Ritz-Carlton.
Ritz-Carlton,
so
Harrison Inn.
Carlton. Oh, Harrison Inn too.
Harrison Inn, yeah. I think that's a joke. It was like an ongoing joke with their parents, but that was not true. But people do weird shit like that,
Yeah.
Like, should we talk about the fucking? Yeah, I know.
The photo shoot.
Also, no, go on. Oh, I was gonna say like this episode we're not writing anything down.
Oh,
it's not like we stick to fucking.
We stick to our plans anyway, so it's literally just Nick and I sitting at a coffee shop, laughing and giggling together for 3 hours.
Pretty much having like a podcast in general, but.
And last time I was like in a mood last time, but what else is new?
What else is new?
I'm in a good mood today.
That we love.
I feel like I've really figured out my like supplements. It's alchemy, you guys. I'm always doing alchemy, but. No, like last time, it's like we sat for 3 or 4 hours. We wrote the whole podcast. And so it was like we were laughing, whatever. And then it's like, I didn't feel like sitting down and talking to you anymore.
It was about 45 minutes, but not 3 to 4 hours. But no, I hear what you're saying because like if you are just like talking about what you're going to talk about, you end up talking about it. So why don't you just like, I don't know.
I didn't feel like sometimes it's like I have to fake the oomph of like the first time you've heard a story.
Yeah.
So this is like the first, we like wrote our little notey notes. We just have a shared note. But one of the biggest thing is as we are possibly rebranding, we hired a photographer who we have admired and followed for a long time, Jason Siegel.
You've been following for him
actually 10 years.
10 years, wow.
Yeah, it's weird because we have a ton of mutual friends now. But like I followed him back when I lived in New York City. I was on a business trip and I met like an LA influencer and he was like one of her good friends. And she was like telling me about something. And then I was like, oh, like, and I randomly followed him. And then we moved to Colorado. Everybody in Colorado is obsessed with Grizz.
Yeah.
And he's like his best friend. And I guess goes on tour with him. So when we knew we wanted to do a cover shoot for like our cover art for the podcast, we were like,
we have to have him.
Yeah, we were like, there's nobody else. He's a genius. And holy shit, did he impress?
Okay, so basically with that, he was like, okay, like tell me what your vibe is, write me down like what you're kind of going for and what you want the looks to be like. And we talked about it for a long time. And then you sent him an email. And after I reread the email, I was like, it was just word vomit. It was way too much. It was all over the place. Nothing really kind of connected one dot to the other. However, he totally got it.
No, got it.
Totally got it. And like, I was like, wow, he's an artist. He knows what to do. And then we always make these jokes that like a lot of the things that we want are like kind of any Gucci ad that has Miley Cyrus in it. We always send them to each other. And we're like, look at her. And so in our like little, meeting with him before we did the shoot, we were on Zoom.
Because he made like a whole mood board for us.
He was like, like what I'm thinking or picturing in my head is like, a lot of those like Gucci ads. And I was like,
and he really kind of pushed us and gave us permission, I think even more than we were going to do to like, he was like, let's just go over the top and kind of who you want to be and who you are in your heads. And just like, I was like, oh, like yourself. The sauciest version of ourselves. I was like, okay. I feel like professionals and like creatives and people who have like clients get so good at is just like understanding the word vomit and putting it into a cohesive thought and a vibe.
Knowing what the person wants.
Yeah. You get really good at knowing what someone wants.
Yeah. And that's kind of like when you when you are one of the best, it's like you know exactly what they want. Yeah.
It was just like I felt like finally seen.
I know.
Like I was like, wait, like you get it. You get what we're going for.
Totally see what you're saying, yeah.
But also made it like that wasn't all our idea. He made it 100 times cooler than we even thought of. But then, okay, so we have a mood board now. And it's like we have to go get the wardrobe and the props and everything for the shoot.
It was like a scavenger hunt.
Around Denver.
We went to the mall 3 days in a row.
Yeah. And to all the vintage stores. And
honestly, towards the end there, I was just kind of like, fuck it. I'm gonna wear like cargo shorts and a wife beater. Like, I'm so over this.
You were so over. Well, you're not like a shopper. And
no, I hate shopping.
And I'm in Zara and like there's like 7 people in line for the dressing rooms, but like we have like other errands to run. And I was like, Nick, strip down.
I'm not just taking my shirt off and like in the middle of Zara.
And I was like, get over it. I kind of bullied you into it.
Which I did. I feel like it looks bad. Like,
no, it is.
I'm
but
not
then
nervous.
there was an Asian lady in the corner with her pants off.
The 90-year-old Asian lady that took her pants off in Zara. Yeah, it wasn't gonna be me.
But it was.
Like point in case. Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, so
I get impatient.
Yeah, yes, you do. But I just feel like, it looks so bad. And it's kind of like, ugh, this fucking redneck over here taking his shirt off in the middle of the mall. Like, you know.
It's fine. I do it all the time.
Yeah.
But I have like a problem with getting naked in public.
Yeah, I know.
Just a me thing.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be you.
Yeah.
I'm like, Nick, I do it all the time. He's like, exactly. It's low class.
Not aspirational.
But our shoot was, okay?
Yeah, our shoot was fucked up good. And you guys are going to see these photos.
Actually, speaking of, this bottle of Dom is from the shoot.
Yeah. It's not real, guys. It's
no, the bottle's real, but the champagne.
Well, it's like a display bottle. Okay, it's a display bottle that they gave to a liquor store. And shout out Argonaut on Colfax here in Denver.
It's our favorite place. It's like Total Wine, but local.
Yeah,
but
and they're so friendly in there and good, and they have everything.
They have everybody on staff if you like need help, like SOMs, and we go there all the time for our parents' company, the Shot Caller, to like go get like supplies for Jello shots for their social.
Yeah, we poured like a $12 cava into it. But we just thought that it would be funny to sit there and like just not comment to that. Like,
but it's also so saucy Sibz.
It's so us
to like do a shoot. But like when I tell you before we thought to go to a liquor store to ask for a display bottle, that like I was in dumpsters.
We literally were.
I was like behind the Ritz-Carlton, like.
No,
somebody had to have thrown away a Dom bottle.
We walked into the Ritz-Carlton, right?
Yeah.
And it was like,
Corridor 44.
Corridor 44. Very nice. And we were like, do you guys have any like bottles that you can give out? Looking poor as fuck. He like kind of liked it though. The bartender was like, yeah. He was like, you can go try the dumpsters. And I was like, yeah. I'm not ordering anything, but I'm going to go check your
But then
dumpsters.
Like security came around the corner and we had to run.
Yeah. He like called someone. He was like, what are you guys doing?
He was on a walkie and
I'm dumpster diving downtown.
Yeah. Because the recycling dumpsters are always pretty clean. It's fine.
I lost my virginity in a recycling bin dumpster. Anyway,
say it.
Okay.
Say it.
I lost my virginity in a recycling bin dumpster. To a woman. Yeah, but we're just not going to talk about it.
No, but my favorite, the way you said it, but normally Nick's like, oh yeah, like I lost my virginity in a dumpster. But then his follow-up is always, but it was recycling, guys.
They're
it was pretty nice.
Yeah, and it was like one of those long ones, you know?
It's one of my favorite fun facts about you.
Yeah, to an Asian woman.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's why you're not a 5-star gay.
I'm not.
A 5-star gay is a man who, or I guess a
Gold
woman.
star.
Gold star.
Gold star, yeah.
Okay. That they've like never had sex with the opposite sex before.
And then there's platinum, which means they're C-section. So like they've never touched a vagina in their life. You know? They didn't come through the vaginal birth canal. Yeah.
Who knew on this podcast you were getting some like
Bible quotes and if you need fake Dom Perignon bottles and Bible quotes, come to me.
Yeah, but thank you, Argonaut. So we ran out of there with our Dom bottle.
And now I'm pouring cheap champagne into it to make it.
Nick's like, I'm going to drink out of this every. But that's like what's so saucy Sibz is you guys like, we really are like champagne taste on a beer budget.
No, 100%. And like, you know, this podcast was started while we were living out of our car change you behind dumpsters to go to drink $300 wine in Napa Valley.
Yeah. So something about us is that dumpsters are always home, like home base.
Love a dumpster.
We love a dumpster.
Yeah.
And we love a dumpster moment. If like I don't know where to find Nick at like a party or a concert, like I'll go to the dumpster or the trash can.
Check the bar, then check the trash can. And actually, in one of the shoots for this photo shoot, there was a dumpster in the background, and he was like, "Oh, I just don't love the dumpster in the back." And I was like, "No, we're kind of into it. Like, keep it in."
I was like, yeah, but like Nick and I like love dumpsters, and he was like, probably not what I was going for the vibe. And I was like, no, yeah, like of course, like super classy, super high end, but like could it just like be in the background?
Just leave the dumpster.
Yeah, just like a little bit, like a little wink to us.
I'm a raccoon through and through. I mean, that is my spirit animal, and I mean it. You know, I can sleep anywhere. I'm resourceful.
You steal? They look like little thieves.
They are thieves.
You don't steal though.
I don't steal though.
No.
But
what else?
I love a good dumpster.
Yeah.
Yep.
So many memories.
So many memories. Yeah. Huh.
How was when you lost your virginity?
We don't gotta go into it, Francesca. What the fuck?
Was it good, or were you just like
no? It was just like me pretending to like
be straight.
No, just trying it out. I never thought I was straight. That was the gayest thing about me. I was just like, let's try that.
Just to like, always I'll try something. Is it Dad's quote that he's like, I'll try anything twice?
I don't think that's Dad's quote.
He just says it sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, but
you guys, I'm drinking this like nice little Trader Joe's Italian soda. We've drank it on the podcast before. It's lovely. I highly suggest it. I've been drinking Italian sodas and taking mushrooms in my sobriety.
We call that Colorado sober.
Yeah, you guys, we almost took mushrooms before this podcast.
Yeah.
Nick was like, we'll never get through it.
We'll never get through it. And actually, sometimes mushrooms make me have like a word finding problem. Last time I actually really took a lot, I just went mute.
Oh.
I just went mute. And actually, I was dating my ex at that point, and he was like, he brought it up to me. He was like, you just say a lot, and you're always fucking talking. And I was like, It's because the mushrooms, I just was like processing a lot. And like, I was like, like seeing colors and shit, but I just didn't need to speak, But like, we were like talking and stuff, and people would be like, oh, right. What do you think of that? I'd be like,
one time, actually, speaking of dumpsters and mushrooms, Nick and I took them once on a ski day.
We took too many mushrooms.
Too many.
And it was and sometimes, if you guys don't know, sometimes when you take a lot of mushrooms, you can kind of get this like laugh attack thing happening.
The giggles.
And it's almost like too much. You'll be crying, laughing for like 45 minutes to where it hurts. You are sore. Your abdomen is just like tired of it, but it's so fucking funny. It's like, like you were in middle school again, like laughing at a joke way too hard. And yeah, we took way too many mushrooms, and we just started laughing so hard around people that didn't know us. By the way,
no, they had never met us, and we like couldn't snowboard anymore. We're hanging out at the end, and so like Nick and I need like a home base, and because like everything was just too much, so like trash can.
So
and Nick and
we just started hanging out by this trash can.
We were like holding on to it, and like people were trying to like throw things away, and we would be like, "Yes, please,
yes, please."
Like,
your turn.
For you,
like
anything. We'd be like, next in line.
Yeah.
For
it was
you.
bad. It was bad. Like, I can't believe
this whole group of people. They were like, because like our other friend was like, oh, this is Francesca and Nick, like whatever, like they're siblings, and
we're insane.
I just could not stop laughing about the trash can, and they didn't get it.
I thought we were causing like a fucking international scene at this point, but I did actually run into one of the girls that was there like a few months later. And I was like, I am so sorry. Like I took mushrooms that day. Like I felt like I was kind of acting a fool. I am not that like much of an idiot. She was like, no, I thought you and your sister were fucking hilarious.
Oh, that's
and I was
good.
Like, okay, good, because that was bad. Like that was like we should not be in public. Like, and we weren't snowboarding. Like we had taken them like after, so we were just like sitting like kind of like opera, So it was like we weren't like on the snowboard. Like
we were the dumpster butlers.
The dumpster butlers.
And we were there for anyone who would like to possibly use a dumpster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One time, me and my friend Alicia, we took mushrooms, and we just sat for like probably like 2 hours, making monkey noises and gorilla noises, like taking turns back at each other, dying laughing. And so I'd be like, and then we would laugh for like 5 minutes. And like, your turn. She'd be like, and we did that. And it was honestly, I think one of the hardest I've ever laughed in my life. But it's like, that is so mushrooms. And it was just her and me in like the basement.
God, I could see that.
I know.
Our basement?
Yeah. It was so funny.
Our parents' basement? That's great. Anyway, back to our classy shoot, guys.
Yeah.
So our friend Paul from earlier, he let us borrow his vintage Mercedes race car, as one has.
1930s.
Like
it's the coolest thing I've ever seen.
It's so cool. It's so iconic. And I don't think Jason knew that we were friends with him. So we were like, yeah, and we're thinking like an outdoor shoot with like Paul's car. And he was like, did Paul say you could use that? And we were like, no, but like,
no, it's fine.
It'll probably be fine.
I mean, I'm sure. Why not? Like, yeah, it's just like
he also sent us on a scavenger hunt for it.
Very Paul.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out Paul, honestly. We talk about him a lot on this podcast, but like, which one of your friends has a 1930s vintage race car that you can go borrow? Yeah, not any of you. It's Paul.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So driving that around town is an experience in itself.
Oh my God. People were like rolling down their windows and being like holding out their phones, taking a video. And I'm just like, yeah. Beep, beep. Seriously. Yeah. It was really fun. Yeah.
But then where else do we go? Oh, your suit.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out Boss Vintage.
Boss Vintage on South Broadway here in Denver. One of the best vintage stores I've ever been to.
Absolutely.
Honestly. And I found this suit. It's a 3-piece like tan suit. And I put it on, and it was original from the 1970s as well, or 1970s. And I literally put it on, and it fit like a glove. Like, you know when like clothes almost feel like they snap on, you know? Yeah. I was like, oh.
Oh, you mean
like, no, it's just like almost like it fits so perfectly.
Yeah. Like when you would snap on like an action figure. Like
it's just kind of, it just like clicks, you know? So, and it was $148, and I just bought that immediately. I was like, yes.
And it was overstock from the 70s, so it had actually never been worn. Like the bottom of the pants, like how pants used to come, like super long, because then you go to a tailor and get them hemmed.
And we got them hemmed.
Then went to Dooman's Tailor down the street.
Yeah, met the coolest tailor.
Right? Steve, the owner.
Yeah.
And they did a 24-hour turnaround.
Yep.
An amazing job at tapering and.
Yep.
So if you need a tailor.
So it was just so good. And the photographer, Jason, he just was loving the suit. He was like, okay, I want to see the suit on. Okay, yeah. And then I take the jacket off, pair it with a black shirt and just the pants. He was like, yes, okay. And I was like, I love. Also, he was so good at like the outfits, Jason was, and we brought so many clothes because we got like so many things just to bring to see what he wanted. And he was like, try that on. No, I don't want that. Don't want this. He like really knew what he was doing.
And duh.
Well, I know, but at the end of the day,
a celebrity photographer. I mean, yeah.
But like at the end of the day, like in my mind, it's like not many straight men are just going to sit here and tell you what to wear.
Yeah, I didn't think that there was going to be as much like wardrobe help.
Yeah.
Like it was so in depth. Like we tried on for him for like 45 minutes and he like fully picked out our outfits. And I was just like not thinking like mine was going to be so like boobalicious.
Yeah, but he did also say that he didn't want it too sexy, so we could use these photos for a lot more things, you know. But he did kind of make yours a little Kesha-esque,
yeah,
a little boobalicious. Like I wouldn't have paired those like
latex
pants with like that like sparkly top,
but it worked.
It worked, yeah.
We just got them back. We're gonna release them later, like after we do our rebrand. They're the coolest things I've ever seen in my entire life. I don't know who those people are in those photos.
And that's exactly what he said. He goes, I want you to exaggerate who you are. And so they're totally exaggerated. And we even brought like gluten-free spaghetti and we put it on a plate. And he had this gay assistant named Aaron, and who was just like the cutest dude ever. And he put the spaghetti on the plate.
It was art.
Yeah.
He's a professional spaghetti twirler. Oh, yeah. He is an artist.
Yeah, he is an artist. Yeah.
It was just the coolest, most fun experience. I was like, every time I do something like that, though, like I know that about my life. Like when I did Jay Leno, like my immediate thought was, I want to be on set for the rest of my life.
And he let us like bump music, and he was like, "What do you guys want to listen to?" And we're like, obviously Miley Cyrus, she was coming album, and of course Aaron, the gay assistant, knew every single word. And I was like, "This is so good." And that album is just so fun to listen to, and like such a confidence booster. And
Mother's Daughter, like coming through the speakers, like as we're like posing, I was like, "This is like my dream come true."
I know. Just
it was
fucking celebrity photographer with Miley Cyrus blasting in the studio. Vintage race cars. Vintage suits.
Who are we?
I was like, yeah.
With our dumpster Dom.
We used the Dom Perignon bottle from Argonaut.
In the shoot.
So she was eating gluten-free spaghetti, and I was like drinking champagne. I don't drink like expensive champagne, honestly. So
I do.
But, I like champagne. I like the bubbles. I think it's fun. I think it's New Year's Eve, right?
Yeah.
But it's not really like my drink of choice. But I don't know. So
I can't wait for you guys to see
I know,
them.
yeah. So we will show you guys them, and we've already put them in our media kit, and we've just been sending it out. Like,
oof, who are they? No, we're really excited. So, and he fit us in his insane, crazy schedule. He hasn't been in town for months for more than 2 days. So his like one day in town in the last few weeks, he like worked all day and then like squeezed us in for like 6 hours.
Dude, the life of a photographer seems fucking crazy.
No, he has the craziest life. I would love to have him on the podcast sometime. We haven't asked. He's just too cool for us.
He's a little too cool for us.
He's literally so cool. We're like, oh, we're going to like Occidental to hang out later. You want to come? And he was like, I'm going to go to sleep. And we were
he's like, I'm leaving tomorrow in the morning, but I was like, okay. Well.
But no, like even just like how professional, like he really took his time with us. I didn't feel rushed. I didn't feel like he was tired. Yeah. Like I just felt like I was like, wow, like this man is literally, obviously such a fucking high-end professional. Yeah. So we're really excited.
Yeah.
Well, anything else in the note?
Not really.
Is that kind of like the update right now?
I think so. Let me just give a little double check. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming out and hanging out, listening.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you tell your friends about us, share us, post us on your stories. Like, honestly, whatever you can do to help us out. And we are doing full videos on YouTube, by the way. So for those of you who aren't watching.
All the awkward, like, me like not realizing I'm on camera. You know when you like fidget and you watch a YouTube video and you're like
pick your nose.
Yep.
Yeah.
Love you guys. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next week.
That'll be our week before Burning Man.
God, we're gonna get so annoyed.
I know. Okay, bye.
Love you. Bye.